Airdrop has been delivered.
Airdrop is coming.
Enemy eliminated. Airdrop has been delivered. Trap deployed.
Enemy down. The airdrop is coming.
Chip terminal is airdrop has been delivered. The safe zone is collapsing. Trap deployed. Your teammate has been killed. Get the dog tags and help them return to the battle.
Airdrop is coming.
Airdrop has been delivered. The revived flight will arrive in 1 minute. Trap deployed.
Airdrop is coming.
Airdrop has been delivered. Trap deployed. Chip terminal is almost ready. The safe zone is collapsing.
Airdrop is coming.
Airdrop has been delivered. The last revived flight will arrive in 1 minute.
Enemy is near. Enemy spotted.
Trap deployed.
Enemy is near. Enemy is near. Enemy is near.
Trap deployed. Revived.
Enemy is near. Airdrop is coming.
Chip terminal is almost ready. Airdrop has been delivered. The safe zone is collapsing.
Yeah.
Trap deployed.
Enemy at range.
Only 2 teams left. Getting close to victory.
少佐、ターゲットの位置をロック。全てのデータソースがセントラルスクエアのテッセラクトに集結した。 少佐、ターゲットの位置をロック。全てのデータソースがセントラルスクエアのテッセラクトに集結した。
The best team in the world, man.
Welcome to Battle Royale. The match is about to start. Trap deployed. Time for the mission. Get ready.
Dándole se dale.
Welcomes you to New Vision City. We hope you have a safe and pleasant stay.
First blood. Your teammate has been killed. Get the dog and return to the battle. Dog tags have been scanned successfully. Your teammate will return to the battle when the next revive flight arrives.
Here at Atlas, our innovative full-body prosthesis will greatly enhance your operational capacity.
Get the dog tag. Trap deployed. The revived flight will arrive in 1 minute. Dog tags have been scanned successfully. Your teammate will return to the battle when the next revived flight arrives. Ship terminal is almost ready.
Airdrop is coming.
The revived flight will arrive in 1 minute. Your teammate has scanned your dog tags. Wait for the revived flight. Airdrop has been delivered.
「ここのネットワークはポストヒューマンによる改ざんの痕跡がある。他のアクセスポイントを探した方がいいわ。
You'll return to the battle. Your teammate has been killed. Get the dog tagged and help them return to the battle.
Airdrop is coming.
Airdrop has been delivered. Your teammate has been killed. Your teammate has been killed. Get the dog tagged and help them return to the battle. The revived flight will arrive in 1 minute. Airdrop incoming. Airdrop has been delivered. Half of the teams are eliminated. Get the dog tags. The revived flight will arrive in 1 minute. Dog tags have been scanned successfully. Your teammate will return to the battle when the next revived flight arrives. Dog tags have been scanned successfully. Your teammate will return to the battle when the next revived flight arrives. Tank has been delivered. Chip terminal is almost ready. Airdrop has been delivered.
Hey,
The safe
Your
zone is
vehicle
collapsing.
has been
Your
printed
team is on the
successfully.
revive flight.
Enjoy the ride.
airdrop is coming.
The revive flight will arrive in 1 minute. Airdrop has been delivered.
Cool. Airdrop is coming.
Airdrop has been delivered. The revive. Chip terminal is almost ready. The safe zone is collapsing.
Airdrop is coming.
Thanks.
Airdrop has been delivered. Down to the last 5 teams. The last revive flight will arrive in 1 minute.
spotted. Engaging the enemies. Enemy is near. Enemy spotted.
Trap deployed.
Enemy spotted. Airdrop is coming.
Chip terminal is almost ready. Airdrop has been delivered. The safe zone is collapsing.
Enemy spotted.
Trap deployed.
Enemy is near.
Chip terminal is almost ready.
Enemy is near.
Trap deployed. Only 2 teams left. Getting close to victory. The safe zone is collapsing. Trap deployed.
Espíritu is alive. We're getting the legendary lobby.
少佐、ターゲットの位置をロック。全てのデータソースがセントラルスクエアのテッセラクトに集結した。
welcomes you to New Vision City. We hope you have a safe and pleasant stay.
First blood. Kill. Get the dog tags and help them return to the battle. Trap deployed. The revived flight will arrive. Shield turret deployed. Chip terminal is almost ready. Trap deployed. The safe zone is collapsing. Watch out. K9 unit incoming.
Airdrop is coming.
The revived flight will arrive in 1 minute. Airdrop has been delivered. Your teammate has been killed. Get the dog tags and help them return to the battle.
Engaging the enemies. Enemy down.
Get the dog tags. Dog tags have been scanned successfully. Your teammate will return to the battle when the next revived flight arrives. Your teammate is on the revived flight.
Airdrop is coming. Enemy is near.
Trapped airstrike has been delivered. The revived flight is alive. revive flight.
Dude. Fucking.
Airdrop incoming. Airdrop has been delivered. The revived flight will arrive in 1 minute. Almost ready.
ここのネットワークはポストヒューマンによる改ざんの痕跡がある。他のアクセスポイントを探した方がいいよ。
Your teammate is on the revived flight. You'll return to the battle. Airdrop incoming.
Airdrop is coming.
Airdrop has been delivered.
I'm hurt.
The last revived flight will arrive in 1 minute.
Enemy is near. Ah.
Shield turret deployed. Your teammate's been killed.
Our vehicle is about to explode. Vehicle is nearly done for. Enemy eliminated. Ah, yeah. Airdrop is coming.
Ready for upgrade. Chip airdrop almost ready. The safe zone is collapsing. 9 unit incoming. Your trip. Your teammate has been killed. Down to the last 5 teams.
Ya Tuhan. Milando da premia plowa ni bedeng takriba ab alami zaman dulu. Emang lucu. Ih, bem nasib itu.
「少佐ターゲットの位置をロック。全てのデータソースがセントラルスクエアのテッセラクトに集結した」。
Trap deployed. Shield turret deployed. Trap deployed. Welcome to Battle Royale. The match is about to... Time for the mission. Here we go. Dog tags have been scanned successfully. Poltergeist is active. Your teammate will return to the battle when the next revive flight arrives.
Enemy down. Enemy eliminated.
Dog tags have been scanned successfully. Your teammate will return to the battle when the next revive flight arrives. Terminal is almost ready. Your teammate is on the revive flight. The safe zone is collapsing. Engaging the enemy!
Airdrop is coming.
Enemy down. The revive flight will arrive in 1 minute. Airdrop has been delivered.
The airdrop is coming.
Drop has been delivered.
Down.
The revived flight will arrive in 1 minute. Trap deployed.
Enemy is near. Airdrop is coming.
Chip terminal is almost ready. Airdrop has been delivered. The safe zone is collapsing.
Enemy spotted. Enemy is near.
Half of the teams are eliminated. Trap deployed.
Enemy down. The airdrop is coming.
The revived flight will arrive in 1 minute. Airdrop has been delivered. Trap deployed. Enemy down. Watch out. K9 incoming.
Airdrop is coming.
Trap deployed. The revived flight will arrive in 1 minute. The safe zone is collapsing.
Airdrop is coming.
Airdrop has been delivered. Killed. Get the dog tags and help them return to the battle. Get the dog tags. The last revived flight will arrive in 1 minute. Dog tags have been scanned successfully. Your teammate will return to the battle when the next revived flight arrives. Down to the last. Your teammate is on the revived flight.
Enemy spotted.
Trap deployed.
Enemy spotted.
Your teammate has been killed. Chip terminal is almost ready. Airdrop has been delivered. I'm down. The safe zone is collapsing. Flashbang grenade. Your teammate has been killed. Your teammate has been killed.
hardpoint map number 1, and I will agree with you that it is interesting for Godlike to take away the takeoff, but they were probably sitting there watching what we were casting yesterday with Revenant versus Fenrir, when they put Fenrir Rebirth in the absolute blender of that map 4 final, where they 100 point club them 250 to 89. It just seems that Revenant are very comfortable on that map, and Godlike want nothing to do with it.
Yeah, I think that's a really solid point for you. So it'd be interesting, because we haven't really seen a ton of standoff hardpoint on the weekend, and we talked about this yesterday. I think it's appropriate for us to kind of keep it in the mind here. I know for all of you avid fans for COD Mobile, of course, you know that, of course, we're down to 250 total points for hardpoint, but last year, at 150 points, this was one of those maps that by the end of P2, the game could essentially be over. If you win the opening hardpoint duel and then lock down a full 60, your ability to come back against specialists and score streaks on this map was essentially null. Now, the thing about it is, we're no longer in that school of thought. Now that we're playing the 250 throughout the year, we're starting to see more achievable comeback conditions, which, to be fair, some of the savior moments from Revenant were in comeback fashion. So I'm curious, I think, just to see what these two teams are going to look like and how they're going to try to move around the map in the first rotation worth of hills as we start to get deeper and deeper toward the 200 point marks.
Yeah, it's very important to be able to cycle out a lot of these operators, and of course, kill streaks when you do end up getting them. Of course, we know how impactful a Goliath truly can end up being if you do get there, specifically on hardpoints like 2 and 4. But it's also important to mention that Godlike did, in fact, get rid of the Operator Sparrow, and then Revenant ended up getting rid of the Annihilator. So the Purifier is very much so in play here. Expect for that to come through in full force when it comes down to locking down full 45s, maybe even full 60s, depending on the hardpoint in question.
That and the Vortex gun was a big factor for a number of our squads yesterday. And speaking of, we do have the kind of ability after yesterday to look through some of the stat sheets. Big shout out to the guys in the back end that are putting together everything. And looking at both these two teams as far as who statistically had been playing well, we already mentioned what Bros has been able to do. In the overall KD, he's carrying a 2.4. And then you look over towards what's happening in particular on hardpoint, he's carrying a 1.44 KD. That is incredibly high. On the opposite side, though, for Revenant, you got to keep your eye in this opening map, first and foremost, on Bones. He's carrying a 1.46 hardpoint KD, and is probably the biggest threat to if Godlike can find success here in this opening map.
Well, to see how it all plays out, starting off at least on the P2 side, you're going to be taking a look at Revenant Esports, but does not necessarily mean that you're in a comfortable position to be able to win out the gunfights. I love what Godlike did off the rip, immediately take their focus over towards that deli alleyway, try to get them spawns on the backside of Hotel immediately.
Revenant in a really good position with numbers, front side Hotel, turning into a lot of time here early with some mid-map clearance. This is working out beautifully. Oh my. Abyss able to get a double. That will help clear the streetway and allow shots to feel a little bit more comfortable inside the hill. The RPD of Oil's locking things down through mid as well, and that's going to be really, really beneficial towards not just being able to help his teammates in the hard point, but also trying to lock down potentially long rotations. But naturally, I say it, and I completely caster curse the situation, because here comes Godlike, trying to make a play from both sides at once. The Predator missile called in early, that will stall out some of this rotation, but Learn has gotten around the back, and Godlike could potentially use this as an opportunity to threaten. But naturally, of course, we talk about it, and it's immediately thrown back into my face. Revenant will win the rotation, even though they lose the scrap time.
Yep, they'll be in there for that initial time as well. And, that's that double-edged sword Godlike wanted to play with, try to get themselves the spawns immediately. They allowed Revenant to at least give themselves that slight buffer of points. And now you got trophy system set up inside the hardpoint. You got Bones lurking along with Abyss. Crossfire is absolutely sublime for Revenant here for the initial time.
Opportunity, though. Godlike, 2 kills on the way in. We'll be able to contest. Need to get G-Shots out of the second floor. There's a slide shell, but G-Shots keeps his life. Well done, and now help has all of a sudden arrived. Pre-firing the doorway. One more up close and personal. No need for assistance. G-Shots take care of it himself. More down the stairs. He's still finding a way to fry out. G-Shots looking to go on a rampage, but finally shut down by Vegas, and Godlike will get the break.
Well, 28 seconds to fight for over here, so you'll probably see Revenant maybe send player or 2, potentially even 3, to try to finesse for some scrap time. And, well, they might be able to win out this battle for the back 20, depending if they can overwhelm the player on top of the stairs. That's Learn. He will go down, so that will be the scrap time at least secured for Revenant for the time being. During all of that, Godlike, we're taking the rotation all the way to the backside of Grandma's. The ever so wanted spawns ahead of the P3 rotation.
This is a little passive here for the 2 members from Godlike, not really able to get up top. Bros will clear. Zyro was the contestant, and now it's down to Neutrino to lock things with the SKS in the back. Took him a minute, but we'll get enough help to make sure that there is the ability to lock down and anchor these spawns. Revenant now looking for a break attempt, and a lot of it is looking like it's going to be coming from the backside of gas station, but smoke will come, allowing G-Shots to try to move on through, but Learn absolutely destroys him. So now, how do you get in? I mean, Oils is trying to do what he can to wallbang players on the inside while his teammates threaten from the top side of the roofs, and that does work out to clear the hard point, but not enough to flip the spawns nor get into the hill for any time.
The killer drone called in by Trunks will at least find that immediate trade. It'll kill out the space as well for them to push further forward. Again, it's keeping Revenant honest through the middle of the map, essentially on the backside of the AS&D. They are struggling to use their numbers to fully break on in towards this P3 hill. This has been a immaculate P3 hardpoint hold for Godlike, and even more so than that, you got players lurking past the middle of the map, all the way inside of Bakery. We're trying to turn Scrap into initial Allen.
Death Machines and Purifiers out for Godlike. Very weird timing for this, honestly, as the next hardpoint hasn't even opened up yet. We're still on scrap time. So Neutrino and Bros trying to lock things up, but do you have enough ammunition to really win this rotation? I don't know. I think that's just either a little too late or a little too early, one of the two. Trunks is able to at least charge up one of his, so Purifier's back up, but that's two specialists that have essentially been wasted. Revenant still an opportunity to try to break this from the left side, and how about it? The kill comes through, shutting down the Purifier. Godlike able to at least ground a response, but all of a sudden you've got G-Shots purifying his way on in, but it's not quite enough to clear out the hard point, and Godlike will sustain.
You really did feel there for a second with all the specialists, the two Purifiers being immediately shut down for Godlike. That Revenant were about to find the opportunity to work their way in, even by pulling out their own operators, but it's to no avail. Just the gunfights, just too clean coming through from Godlike, and Revenant trying to answer back. Gunfights again from Godlike, a lot better here in this standoff hardpoint comparatively to what they looked like yesterday versus the Revenant squad.
Still a pretty big back 15 seconds here. Revenant trying to give it a go, but Godlike completely shut it down before really any threat is established. So now the first set of rotations come and go. It's Godlike enjoying a very hefty 80-point lead or so. Over back towards Frontside Hotel. Revenant in position with numbers, but can they actually build a bit of a buffer around this one? That's the real question, because Godlike is still threatening from the street control. Very comfortable are they trying to move through main. Abyss able to at least lock down Trunks. That's a good shutdown potential, and that clearance is good. Now you've got full hotel control, you've got some high ground window spaces, and you can start getting some time here if you're Revenant.
Nice shots from Abyss. Top hotel control is going to be a virtue if you're looking to turn P1 into a potential of a money hill, and good help coming through as well, but even more so than that, you have Revenant players more than aware that the flank on the backside of gas station could be looked at for Godlike. Those players are dealt with in kind, and you're also currently holding through the middle of the map as well. This is a great hold here on P1 through the new set of hills for Revenant so far.
As far as the effectiveness of these specialists have gone, Revenant is winning that battle. That's everything off the table from Godlike, including another Purifier that was spent on the break attempt for Godlike that finds absolutely nothing. So this is how comebacks happen. And Revenant, I would say, has really started to prove that the main cause for some of these hardpoint wins that they've been able to find has been by way of great specialist usage. Godlike, though, on the rotation from 1 to 2, shutting down a number of Revenant members. You've got a bit trying to operate in towards the Purifier. He's the only one inside and not enough help to keep him alive. So it's another shutdown. Neutrino immediately goes to the Death Machine. Trying to lock in this rotation as Godlike and Neutrino will take down a double. Good stuff as they will get close to 150 points.
Death Machine, things you absolutely love to see. The special control, as you were saying, just has not been there for Godlike so far, but you are able to sway the decision there, especially for the early break inside P2. That Death Machine definitely rectifies the issues that we've seen so far. Double the amount of the point score. Revenant have to try to break into this hard point, but the control across all these lanes have been way too strong for Godlike so far.
That little kill that we just saw into Bones just off screen will give Godlike an idea that this hit has to be coming from the bottom side of the minimap. Trade's not good enough. Vegas trying to lock this up with the last 15 seconds by way of Purifier. That'll do well for the scrap. Just the last two members for Godlike soaking up every single second, and Revenant's success that we saw all day yesterday is essentially not here whatsoever on rotation in particular. They have not gotten a full setup really since the first set of hardpoints, and even more specifically, really just from 1 to 2. It's not been good for Revenant. They need to find a way to break here and hold, because otherwise this game might be over.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to be able to try to work your way through the middle of the map where there's just so much control for Godlike. They're all taking their virtues on the backside of the alleyway. Behind Deli, they will go. Zyro for 2. Is that the opening that they might need? You do have players that are currently on the backside of Grandma's. Got to deal with some of these lurking players, but still, here comes at least one more player. That's Trunks in towards the back. They will get the proximal spawns there for their teammates across the AS&D, and Godlike find themselves inside P3 once again.
You really might need to consider one of these last two players for Revenant that have specialists ready to go to possibly pop them here. This is a massive 30 seconds that you just cannot give away. Here comes the play. 3 kills in a row for Revenant. Looking to break on, and they will block the spawn, so a chance to safely be able to take down this, if they can take care of Trunks, and it's a feat that not many have been able to do. 3 for Trunks before the trade comes out. Vegas is still inside, trying to play from the second floor. Responds to the first, cancels the reload, nearly gets the second. But there will be a break for Scrap. But on rotation, Learn, his second Purifier up and ready to go. Trying to clear out the second floor, now focusing back towards the staircase, and he's frying them up. Looking good as Godlike start to get things cooking here in the bakery.
Overcooking everything inside the bakery. You're going to have some burnt bagels, some unfortunate outcomes for the donuts as well. This is where Purifiers can absolutely reign supreme, but a 2-for-1 trade there at the end of the kill feed is not going to be good enough for Godlike so far. Even the pinch trying to come all the way through, you have to somehow deal with Vegas, who is still playing that head glitch on the top side of the desk. Purifier's going to be called out there from Bones, does find 2, but still not enough opening. No numbers here for Revenant to fully break in.
No, it's not been good enough for Revenant. It's just been too much of needing to break and not enough setting up for holds, really. And even though Revenant is in a good position with numbers to try to get the back part of this 30 seconds, the comeback effort would have to be the most extreme that we've seen out of them so far this weekend. Not to say that's out of the realm of possibility, but you've got Abyss currently operating a Purifier. You've got Oil who could pull one of his own, and you have to turn one of those 2 players into probably a Goliath if you really want to get back into this. Vegas in the corner, good help from Neutrino. The play forward, nearly good enough to contest this last 10 seconds, but even though Revenant will get the scrap time, they will be late trying to get over for a setup at P1.
Even that final kill there from Trunks on Oil just to secure the extra 3 seconds. It's just annoying for Revenant to have to deal with. It's a pick-and-choose battle here for Godlike. Which hardpoint do you want to try to win it out? The leader's advantage growing way too far out of reach for Revenant at the time.
Trunks, why not? Purifier out. If you got it, use it. Pretty much that's been the call, but how about it? G-Shots, he's been great with specialist usage. One of the players that we did not see on this team last year. In addition, that has been really well found, but the effort is only a mild one, to say the least. Vegas jumps back on through. Good help from his own nades. Pulls off the final Purifier needed, and Godlike will do better than they did yesterday when it comes to the opening hard point, and honestly, just take control of this from first rotation of Hills on. Clean stuff out of Godlike from start to finish, really.
I mean, they beat the brakes off of him, Alan. It was that one rotation continuously in those 2 sets of hardpoints that we did see. You highlighted so wonderfully that if you are Revenant and you're able to get about 25, 30 seconds or so off of P1, that's all fine and dandy. It's going to be contested thoroughly by this Godlike roster, but it's always the rotation to get on the backside of the warehouse. That back gas station area was always in possession for Godlike.
That's fair,
and although they still had those dents in their armors where the streak usage, it was a little bit more questionable, sure. The Purifiers being called out in very wonky times. They just get it done with their raw gun skill more often than not. The Purifier works their way in. They find those 2 kills. It's either going to be Trunks, Neutrino, or maybe even Bros to come on the flank and clean up the last few kills required.
One of the things that we saw a lot last year when we got standoff hardpoint were the teams that were able to kind of establish their game plan. You know, you're playing your style of hardpoint. You get to force your opponents to adjust and adapt. It gives you so much freedom to sit there and say, all right, we got the first 40 seconds, or we did well in the first 40 seconds. Let's just have a couple of people just finesse, try to make life difficult on the old hill, and everybody else can focus on rotation. And that seemed to be the game plan for Godlike throughout the entirety of this map. Really saved the first, largely because Revenant was able to win the mid of the street right off the rip. Everything else, though, Godlike was at the hill first. I don't think there was a single other hill that Revenant was able to get to initially. Everything was fighting for scrap and desperately trying to hang on to whatever points you could, while Godlike were like, cool, whatever, we're still up 80 points. We're just going to go ahead and take the next 40 on this upcoming hardpoint.
But it was the one time that they were able to get inside P3 first. So that was in the second set of hardpoints. Before it even popped, it was the same break setup that Godlike had offered in the first set of hardpoints, and it worked so wonderfully. It was Trunks with a 100-killer drone up top a hotel. They were able to get streak control immediately, as you were talking about, and then from there on out, it was just the collapse, opening up that AS&D lane in towards the backside of Grandma's, getting those immediate spawns, and just completely overwhelming them. You really do feel like that when Trunks has a minute and 47 worth of hardpoint time, the majority of that was either in the initial 15 or just being an absolute nuisance for the back 20.
I think that's a really fair call, and that's why he's one of the players that we kind of kept our eye on when it comes to who could be X factor for this Godlike team. So now we focus forward as we take a look back over towards the maps. We've got Raid for the Search and Destroy. First time that we've actually had it on broadcast here for India, so pumped to kind of see what these teams have offered for us. And here's the biggest thing about it. If you're Revenant, you had, when we watched them play, they played on different hard Search and Destroys almost every single series, and nothing was working for them. So now we're going to see another new map out of this Revenant team in their search. You have to have something set up here because you had plenty of time to talk about it from yesterday to today. And what we kind of left yesterday with, feeling-wise, was there was no way Revenant was going to qualify for a top 2 spot unless their Search and Destroy is better here in day 2 compared to what it was yesterday.
You got to have at least one strong hardpoint map, or Search and Destroy map, excuse me, out of the few maps that we do have within the pool, right? And maybe it could be Raid. It's very difficult to be able to break the post-plant setup. I just hope that Revenant do not overextend, even in a post-plant situation.
Well, we'll see. They're going to smoke out the backside windows, trying to get over in towards basketball early for this A-bomb plant. G-shots. Oh, that's not good. Looked like he may have not fully connected, honestly. Yeah, now he's finally in. Not sure what just happened right there, but it puts Revenant in a very sticky situation. It's just Abyss, last one left. He's been a...
Man, media control going in through Art. Very passive setup coming through from Revenant this time around. And Godlike are more than obliged. They take mid-map essentially for free.
Plus, they are able to capitalize with First Blood. Now you can move forward through B, take Art control, and Revenant are stuck in their spawn. G-Shot's able to punish Trunks for trying to get a little bit too aggressive, so we go to 4v4. Vegas will be trusted to watch the cross on towards A, and this is why. Easy shot on Desiro, no problem. Back over towards mid, looking for the wall bang. Not going to work out. Still, Godlike comfortable in their setup with numbers 4v3 with a minute 15 on the clock.
Turn this into a media control. You can see there's one player of G-Shots trying to push up through open stairs, trying to find an opening. They'll find Bros in a corner, go 1 for 1. Keep numbers in the favor for Godlike for the time being, 3v2. Still able to find a trade through the middle of the map. Now you got to stack up together. You saw a minute left to play. Abyss picks up the boomstick, finds Vegas. It might be the immediate call. Maybe just try to wrap back through the middle of the map. Yeah, sure will be. Try to get over towards B for the safe plan.
I'm wondering if they saw Learn. He's not really giving anything away here. He's crouched behind the bomb. Now we'll check. He's got a Peacekeeper to play with in a 1v2 situation while the bomb will surely go down. And it sure will. Being planted by Abyss. How do you play this post-plant setup? Again, if you're new to COD Mobile, these bomb site locations different than what we had in Cold War. So the way you set things up will also be a bit unique, and it will be a play backside driveway. So Learn is going to have a tough situation in front of him for this 1v2. He's going to play this through Laundry, but you got to remember that Abyss still has the opportunity to use a sniper rifle, push off his initial heady on the backside of Ring. Now you got to go. You got to move quickly as well. He catches Learn over the top. Okay, there's the first blood, no problem. And now G-Shots gets a read on it. Learn trying to finesse. Tough gunfight. Backs away. 13 seconds on the clock. Time favoring that of G-Shots, who's now looking to play for the refresh on the health.
少佐、ターゲットの位置をロック。すべてのデータソースがセントラルスクエアのテスセラクトに集
You
結
were
し
the
た。
jump leader. Good luck. Trap deployed. Welcome to Battle Royale. The match is about to start. Time for the mission. Get ready.
We can land here.
Brings you to New Vision City. We hope you have a safe and pleasant stay.